The Lost People, the memory of Ephraim in Japan. In the 8th century BCE, the northern kingdom of Israel vanished from history. Conquered by the Assyrian Empire, 10 tribes of Israel were scattered across unknown lands. Their fate remains a mystery to this day. But perhaps they were not entirely lost. Their spirit, their worship, their myths may have survived in an unexpected corner of the world. Ephraim, the younger son of Joseph, blessed by Jacob as the father of many nations. Among the most important of the tribes, Ephraim played a leading role in the northern kingdom, a tribe of warriors, prophets, and spiritual leadership. Meanwhile, in Japan, deep in the mountains of Nagano Prefecture, lies Suwa Taisha, a shrine like no other in Shinto tradition. Its most distinctive feature, the Onbashira festival, in which giant sacred pillars are raised as divine vessels. It calls to mind the wooden pillars that supported the tabernacle of Moses, built in the wilderness by the Israelites, pillars that carried the presence of God. The main deity of Suwa Taisha, Takeminakata, was said to have lost in a divine wrestling match and retreated to Suwa. He became the god of that land, bound by vow and submission. This myth closely echoes the story of Jacob, who wrestled with a divine being through the night, was injured, renamed Israel, and became the bearer of a covenant. Both tales speak of divine struggle, defeat, and sacred settlement. Suwa also preserved the role of the Ohori, or Great Priest, a sacred figure believed to be the living descendant of the god. He rarely appeared before the public, remaining secluded within the shrine's deepest sanctum. This recalls the high priest, Kohen Gadol, of ancient Israel, the only one permitted to enter the Holy of Holies, a human vessel of divine presence, purified from worldly defilement. In ancient times, Suwa's rituals included the sacrifice of a deer's head, offered to the gods as a sacred gift. This mirrors the animal sacrifices described in Leviticus, where blood and meat were separated and offered upon the altar. But this idea of sacrifice did not originate in Leviticus alone. Let us return to a pivotal story when Abraham was commanded to sacrifice his son Isaac on Mount Moriah. He obeyed, prepared the altar, and raised the knife. But God stopped him, providing a ram in place of the child. This episode became the symbol of ultimate faith, sacrifice, and covenant. The parallel is striking. Both Abraham and Suwa's priests faced the test of faith, surrendering to a divine will greater than their own. Mount Moriah was chosen by God as his sacred dwelling. Likewise, ancient Japan believed that gods resided in the mountains. Shrines were built not to house gods, but to invite them down from sacred peaks. Suwa's mountains and lakes became a divine refuge, a place of covenant, of struggle, and of sacred stillness. Here we must speak of the Inbe clan, a priestly family in ancient Japan, responsible for sacred offerings and purity. They avoided defilement, lived in ritual obedience, and served as intermediaries between humans and the divine. Their practices echo those of the Levites, whose name and role may have crossed the seas alongside exiles of Israel. The very word Inbi contains the concept of imi, avoidance, cleansing, just as Levitical laws demand separation from impurity. Could the lost Israelites have traveled with Phoenician seafarers, crossing oceans in search of freedom and refuge? Could their memory of sacrifice, purification, struggle, and covenant have taken root in the sacred mountains of Japan? The lost tribes may have vanished from records, but perhaps not from the world. Their spirit lives on in the prayers of priests, in the columns of shrines, in the silent mountains that remember. Shinto shrines across Japan are more than just sacred places. They carry hidden messages, traces of ancient cultures, preserved not in words but in symbols and rituals from a time when language was not yet common. Since the Jomon era, the people of Japan have shown an exceptional ability to embrace and integrate diverse cultures. And within this history may lie fragments of a hidden, interconnected world. Today, there are approximately 80,000 Shinto shrines throughout Japan, and counting smaller sacred sites, the number may reach 200,000. When we examine the deities worshipped at these shrines, we find they can be categorized into 16 distinct lineages. This number, 16, appears not just in Japan. It echoes throughout the ancient world, from Marduk of Mesopotamia, to the Minotaur of Greek mythology, to the bird-headed figures of Sumerian legends, from Jerusalem's Herod's Gate in Israel, to the pyramids of Egypt and the tomb of Tutankhamun, from the Ishtar Gate of Babylon, to the ruins of the Maya civilization, from the ancient ruins of Thata in Pakistan, to the mythological paintings of Fuxi and Nuwa in China, and even the megalithic burial grounds of Indonesia. The 16-petaled chrysanthemum emblem has been discovered in all these places. It is the same emblem that symbolizes the Imperial family of Japan, often called the oldest royal family in the world. And now we find that the deities of Japan's shrines fall into 16 groups. Could this truly be a coincidence? In addition, old Japanese folktales and traditional songs preserve stories, oral traditions, that strikingly resemble ancient myths and historical episodes from lands far beyond Japan. Tales that modern Japanese people should not, by logic, have inherited. Yet somehow they remain. So perhaps the history of Japan is not an isolated story. Perhaps it is a microcosm of the ancient world, where the memory of lost civilizations still echoes. Japan is not only a part of history, it may be a key to understanding the hidden links that bind the world together. And in the quiet presence of its shrines, the past still speaks. As we trace the forgotten paths of ancient peoples, we begin to see that Japan's spiritual landscape may be more than it appears. Not just a unique culture, but a bridge between civilizations long thought disconnected. The mysterious parallels between the tribes of Israel and the sacred traditions of Japan. They whisper of a legacy carried not by conquest, but by memory. A memory preserved in rituals, in symbols, and in stories passed from generation to generation. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story stirred something within you, we invite you to subscribe, share your thoughts, and walk with us as we continue to uncover hidden threads in the fabric of human history. This is just the beginning. In the next episode, we travel to Izumo, a land shrouded in myth, home to one of the oldest and most enigmatic shrines in Japan. What ancient secrets lie hidden in the Kojiki and in the mysterious oral traditions passed down through the Izumo priestly families? Is it possible that Izumo holds the key to understanding not only Japan's origins, but the forgotten fate of the lost tribes of Israel? Myth, memory, and mystery await. Episode 2, Izumo and the Lost People, Ancient Memories in Oral Traditions. Coming soon.